Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today talking about quantum mechanics and quantum physics, and sort of what we're going to be doing is applying it to life. So I'm going to talk about it and sort of walk you through what we've spoken about on quantum mechanics and quantum physics around entanglement, and sort of understanding the deeper meanings of the holographic theory, which the holographic theory just basically states that the individual is a part of the whole and the whole is a part of the individual. So what we're understanding is within our DNA, what creates life, things like carbon, because you understand that part of our life, or part of what gives us this form in life, is the minerals and the different carbons and things like that exist within us. So it's important to understand that when we're trying to interpret the sort of quantum aspect of it, but also part of your DNA is the star. Do you sort of get it? So within the DNA of the star is the whole universe. So we just understand which within each of my cells is the sort of genome for the whole, or the DNA sequence for the whole individual. So from any one cell you could reproduce an entire human being, so to speak, if you could get the cell replication going and all of that. But it's sort of like this understanding that we're not just localized to this earth. Do you sort of get it? We're not an outside organism that has entered the body like a parasite, or like a virus or something like that. So it's in understanding that we are a part of the universe and a part of sort of the overall sequencing and structure of the universe. So if we are a part of the universe and sort of a collection of the universe, then we are the entirety of the universe, if that makes sense. So it's very important to start understanding this, because when we understand this in quantum entanglement, okay, and then we understand holographic theory, that means I have the genetic, and if we think about DNA is just genetic memory. So I have the genetic memory within my DNA of the universe. Do you sort of get it? So anything within the universe under holographic theory, I have within me. So within me is the blueprints to build a star, within the carbon. Do you sort of get it? Within the hydrogen. And this is sort of what science explores, and how they sort of describe the universe through, mathematics and science. Do you know what I mean? So understand, quantum is the science of connection, just as classical, physics and things like that is the science of sort of describing the natural world. Do you sort of get it? So quantum mechanics and quantum physics and all of that describes connection or interconnectedness of the universe, but also it describes the internal aspect of everything. So, for example, most people experience a dimension of life that is far beyond their capacity to explain, express, and things like that. Think about it in love. You always think like, if only this person knew me as I knew me, wouldn't they just want to be with me? Do you know what I mean? So we understand there are layers and dimensions within our experience of life that we are unable to replicate or reproduce based upon into the world. Try describing love. Try describing, any emotion, joy, happiness. It's an impossible feat because emotion lives outside of logic. So outside of conscious awareness, emotion lies in the unconscious mind. So they don't link unless you do, like Psych K, unless you do specific kinesthetic movement to activate the hemispheres of the brain. You cannot explain an emotional state. You cannot describe an emotion. You can try and sort of, paint it in a picture as being, love is caring deeply. Like, what does caring deeply mean? Do you sort of get it? So you just start to understand that when we think about quantum is non-replicable. So we cannot replicate like a quantum state or a quantum bit of information. So just understand there is dimensions to your experience that you have right now that are quantum in nature. And those thoughts and those experiences are all interconnected. And this is where we get into quantum entanglement and metaphysics. Okay, the interconnectedness of thought to physical matter. So through quantum entanglement, we understand that any particle, so if I had a thought over a flower, I can influence that flower with my thoughts. Now just remember, they've done the experiments with the plants, the studies with the plants and the studies with the hydrogen atoms or whatever they are in the ice, where they said different words, and they did it where they wrote the words, and then where they did another one where they just sort of thought the words, and they did different words, and the crystalline structures formed the same. Do you sort of get it? Does it start to make sense? So we start to understand we have already observed, and we can already observe these practices. And understanding like my entanglement to someone is, if I feel like someone's upset and then I go over there and do something nice for them, like that is what we are talking about in terms of being able to influence and manipulate or direct another particle. Do you sort of get it? So like understand the interconnectedness or interconnected aspect of the human mind and the human state and the human experience is literally like that aspect of us that makes us feel connected to others. Do you sort of get it? Like that is the entanglement. Like, do you get it? So just understand, like, we have all experienced this, and we all experience this within every moment of every day. This is an unconscious aspect or dimension of our experience. Do you sort of get it? So it's like the idea of the meaning of life is that we are all God. So God is the sum total of the universe. We are part of the universe, so we are part of the sum total of God. We're all a part of God, and we're pretending to not be God, but to be a human being. And then we're realizing that we are God. Do you sort of get it? Observing God. So like the purpose of life is for sort of awareness, like what is the purpose for my cells to have conscious, or the capacity for consciousness that's found in the OCR theorem. Do you know what I mean? So it's very important to start understanding this, that when we're trying to experience quantum mechanics, or when we're trying, so quantum mechanics is just a way of explaining the unconscious or the quantum states of experience, consciousness, existence, reality. Do you sort of get it? So it's very important, because if you think about it like this, science wants to believe that, or classical science wants to believe that all the matter was in one point in space and time, and then it expanded out from there. But if you think about it in quantum states, basically, like the universe is in a state of potential where potentially it can be, and it is in a state of nothingness. Now, it's important to understand the state of potentially being is not a sort of, like it's not a state of being of growth. It's a state of awe. So what the state of the universe being encompasses the entirety of the universe. Do you sort of get it? And this expansion of the universe is the universe trying to expand to know. Do you sort of get it? It's very deep stuff when we get into it, but what it means is, if we're thinking about it as the universe started at one point and it had to grow out in a linear scale to achieve its full potential, then that fits in with current science's belief and current human belief that growth takes time. But in the quantum dimension of it, it exists in its entirety in a quantum potential state. So when that quantum potential state collapses into itself, then it doesn't start off at one point. It all exists simultaneously. Do you sort of get it? The Big Bang, okay, is the simultaneous eruption of the universe into being. Do you sort of get it? And the expansion is the unknown aspect or dimension of the universe being known. It's pretty wild things, because what this means is, if there is a dream life for me where, let's say, 1 million people know me and give me $1 million, whatever, however much it is, whatever, okay, like there is a vibration and a sort of a state of being. If I achieve that vibration, like that potential exists, but it doesn't exist on a linear scale. It exists on a non-linear. So the quantum aspect of the Big Bang is the non-linear aspect of time and space, where in quantum entanglement we understand that particles can just appear and disappear. Well, not quantum entanglement, that's quantum shit. I don't know. But basically we've observed particles that can appear and disappear. So there is no linear process to the movement in space and time. So a lot of people think about being able to build hyperdrives, being able to build, wormholes and things like that. But it would be a quantum state drive that would just shift through the quantum aspect of space or of the universe. And that's pretty wild.